Welcome back to HPL. We saw Purple take a 1-0 lead over Nayria here in our first match of the night, and it's quickly becoming the story of all of his matches. Is what is Purple going to have in his deck next that is just out of this world?
Yeah, there is no telling what we're going to see from Purple. I mean, we've seen Snipe from him. We've seen King Mukla. We just saw Sunwalker and Kel'Thuzad in a Paladin deck. I mean, he is really doing his homework and doing his best to exploit these players moving forward.
Not taking anything from Nayria. His deck was pretty cool, too. I think we saw Mind Blast in there. He probably had a Prophet Veil and something going on, but the game ended a little before we get to see him really do his thing.
Now we're going to see Game 2, Nayria versus Purple.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see. It looks like Nayria is going to be playing.
What?
There is a Snipe in Nayria's Hunter
There's
deck here.
There's a Murloc in Purple's Warlock deck.
What is going on here? This is great. Maybe this is just a pure mix-up by Purple here. He's just going to go over-the-top aggressive here and just try to throw Nayria off his game.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, really interesting. And Nayria loved this choice from him. He's gone completely against the grain of what he normally plays. That's a Wolf Rider in his hand. I cannot remember the last time I saw Nayria actually play a Wolf Rider.
If you asked me to list 100 cards that you thought Nayria would play tonight, I don't think I would have Wolf Rider in the top 100.
Would you have Murloc Tidecaller in Purple's top 100?
I think I would have something similar. I would probably put a random card every other card that I listed.
And Nayria, even choosing to trade here very early with the Leper Gnome, this is something that we've seen from him time and again, is he will continue to try to choke minions at every step of the way. And Purple, with a little bit of smile, we saw him play Snipe last week, and that smile is somewhere inside of him. He knows that influence was partially from him. So Leokk, not great from Nayria here. Purple, though, really on a back foot here. This deck wants to get out rolling to a very quick start, and he hasn't had that so far, so just going to Soulfire straight away. Wants to make sure he has the least chance to discard something valuable. Even going to play the Abusive Sergeant here instead of using that hero power, showing you how much he focuses on getting something on the board so that way he can keep stuff in check. But Piloted Shredder, this is about the best turn 4 play you can have when your opponent plays turn 3 Abusive Sergeant.
Oh yeah, getting on the board in a big way that's going to stick around in a big way. But Purple is going to use the Defender of Argus to be able to allow him to, well, he was about to trade. He might be thinking about initiating a race here instead, though. But yeah, he's going to trade in here.
The trade here, I think, is a really big nod to something like Iron Beak Owl, or even just some charge damage to clear out the 3-tier and then have the Piloted Shredder kind of rain on the board. Gets a little bit rewarded for it, too. Lightwell, not too fantastic of a card when you're playing a very aggressive deck. So Nayria, picks up a Mad Scientist. He can couple that with his Wolf Rider. Going to push for some damage here. And at this point now, it's pretty much up to Purple to dictate the pace of this game and see exactly how these minions are going to get traded. I'm curious exactly what he's thinking, though, because he's already seen a Snipe. What other traps does he think Nayria has in his deck?
Yeah, that's another thing, too. Once you see Snipe out of them, every trap is on the board now. Do they have Snake Trap? Do they have Freezing Trap? Do they have Explosive Trap? That's something we've seen a lot here in HPL, is just the full range of traps in all of the games now. Lightwell won't have much of an effect on the board. He won't be able to attack much with it as Nayria, but gaining a little life here and there, if they start racing, could come into effect and be a big thing.
Yeah, Eagle Horn Bow, great pickup from Nayria here. He's got the trap to sit behind here. I'm curious how much bluffing could actually be oriented in this turn. Like, if you say he just attacks the Doom card and then passes, how does Purple interpret that sort of play? Arcane Golem going to come in instead, going to take out this 2-1. I mean, it looks to me like it's Freezing Trap.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be Freezing Trap.
Dark Iron Dwarf.
I was going to say, Dark Iron Dwarf is a great one. Yeah, it is going to be Freezing Trap. Dark Iron Dwarf, one of my favorite cards in all of Hearthstone, but it hasn't been, super popular in a lot of the decks. A lot of Purple's decks here seem to be, homages to decks that were very popular months ago.
Yeah, so just going to play, not going to life tap this turn, it looks like. He intends to play Doomguard next turn, so no reason to not only take 2 extra damage, but also no reason to put a card on his hand that he's just going to discarding. Second Freezing Trap picked up for Nayria as well. This is a fantastic draw from him. The thing he can't do right now, though, is utilize Unleash the Hounds, but what he does have rolling for him right now is a ton of damage. This Arcane Golem's already gotten an 8, and it looks like it's going to get in even more.
Yeah, Nayria just pushing for a ton of damage here, knowing that he can sit behind this Freezing Trap, and that he's got a ton more damage behind that with his bow and his hero power. Purple is on the back foot. He's already at 12 here. Nayria is at a very healthy 27, and just got an extra charge on his bow.
Yeah, I mean, the bow here is basically soloing Purple at this point, and all he needs at this juncture, I think, is just extra threats to add to the board to make sure he can keep pushing. Now, this is really the first turn, I think, that Nayria has even a chance to attack a minion. That's like of sizable measure, and he chooses not to here, and I can't blame him on this point. He's got so much damage on the board at this point, it's just a matter if he can push for it. This is going to spell the end here because he's got to Unleash the Hounds.
Yeah, Nayria just pushed through too much damage over the last couple turns. Love the mix-up by him of playing the Hunter deck. Great job getting the win here. Purple with a little bit of a weird Murloc Warlock deck going on here. We saw a little bit of it, not a ton.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Murloc Tidecaller, and we also saw The Murloc, I can't even remember what the guys that makes the 2-1 and the 1-1. I don't even remember the name of it. That's how long it's been since I've seen that card actually played in competitive play. It was like 2013, I think, is the last time I actually saw that card played. But a really weird strategy from him, and I don't quite understand exactly what he's trying to accomplish with that. But, you know, something that Nyrea did was he tried to punish purple for maybe, you know, reaching out and trying all these unique cards right here. It looked like that deck was going to try to target something, but Nyrea just went pure aggression and tried to end the game as quickly as possible, picks up the win.
Yeah, it's something you see a lot of players do in card games like this, where if your opponent is doing something fancy or, like, you know, has some cards that are a little weird, sometimes just blind aggression gets them and really punishes them for when their deck isn't as streamlined as it should be, or it's untested. And you saw Nyrea do that and get a win here in this match to even it up at 1-1.
Yeah, needed to mix it up, and that's exactly what he did. If you guys want to go and see exactly what happened, you can head over to pvplive.net.